How we doing out there, Drift World? Welcome to Orlando Speed World. If you're here in the building, you are AutoZone Scorched, but presented by Black Magic. This is round 2 of the Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship. Are you ready to meet your top 16 drivers, Orlando? He is 3-time Formula Drift champion in the NOS Energy Drink next entire Nissan 370Z. It is Chris the Force Forsberg. On his blackout teammate, he is in the gum out Nitto Tires Toyota Racing Toyota 86. It is Ryan Tuerck. The Yellow Speed Energy Innovations Achilles Tire S15, car number 808. He got second place in Long Beach. It is Forrest Wang. Next up, coming to us from Lima, Peru, in the Inca Madness Racing Field Suspension Nitto Tires BMW. It is Alex Heilbrunn. Our points leader, our winner in Long Beach. Can he do it again in the teal and blue Falcon Tires Field Suspension S14.5? It is Odi Bakchis. Number 2 qualifier, some more Falcon Tires on track. A Formula Drift veteran. Turd 14 distribution Falcon Tires Subaru BRZ, your number 2 qualifier slide, or Daijiro Yoshihara. Originally from Michigan, he is on the hotline in Southern California. He's in the Falcon Tires Roush Performance Ford Mustang JTP Justin Pawlak. A former champion residing in Southern California in the Essa Autosports Achilles Tire BMW. It is Michael Essa. Rounding out the frenemies of Odi and this gentleman, the beast from the Bay in the Falcon Tires Boral Exhaust Heat Wave Corvette. It is Matt Field. He is the king of spring break. He lives just down the road. I think he Ubered here actually to compete. He is in the Achilles Tire in Juku Racing S14.5. It is Passionate Pat Goodin. One of 2 of this RTR team. Behind the wheel, the BC Racing Nitto Tires Ford Performance Mustang RTR Spec 5D. It is Chelsea DeNofa. Next up, presenting the Black Magic Top Qualifier Award, our AutoZone employees Jason Grimm, Alvon Franklin, and Stephen Curtis. Again, your Black Magic Top Qualifier Award winner, pilot of the Rockstar Energy Drink. Next in Tires Toyota Racing Toyota Corolla Hatchback, the Norwegian Hammer, Fredric Aasbo. Behind the wheel of the Gretty Performance Toyota Racing Toyota 86. He's already gone 3 times here today. Can he take it all the way to the top? It is Ken Gushi. Next up, 1 car, 2 international drivers. The other car is in the pits, but first, we start with the gentleman that has his car out here. Coming to us from Poland, and the Wordhouse Drift Team, Falcon Tires S15, is the Candyman, Piotr Wiecek. 2-time defending champion. His car is not here. Hopefully he can get it together because he's going against Chris Forsberg here in the top 16. He's in the Wordhouse Drift Team, Falcon Tires S15. Rounding out that 2-car team, again, 2-time defending champion, James the Machine Deane. As it stands today, him and his team are probably some of the hardest working within, 45 minutes, 30 minutes, and he's back out here. What wall? What stinking wall? The Monster Energy Nitto Tire Ford Performance Mustang RTR Spec 5D, piloted by Vaughn Gittin Jr. Those are your 16 drivers, 15 cars. Hopefully the machine gets his car together. Are you ready to send it, Orlando Speed World and Formula Drift Nation? Make some noise. All right, as the vehicles and their respective drivers make their way back to the grid, we'll be seeing our first head-to-head battle here in top 16 of round 2 of the Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship. This is AutoZone Scorch, presented by Black Magic. All right, well, as we get prepared for our first head-to-head battle, Ryan Sage, how you doing, man?
Nice to see you.
I'm good.
Looking forward to seeing you guys at Road Atlanta, and hope you guys are rooting on at home, everybody watching. And this is a doozy. This is a doozy.
Oh boy, we got championships on the line.
This is a repeat of Irwindale finals last year, 2-1 more times.
Oh boy. You see 13 times these guys have gone against each other. Most recently, Vaughn did get the win at Irwindale. So Fredric Aasbo with 4, Vaughn with 9. And here we go. We're ready to send it here for our first battle of the top 16. Orlando Speed World. We got a clean start here. That Rockstar Energy drink. Next to tires, Toyota Racing, Toyota Corolla halfback. Aasbo initiates, gets high. Vaughn Gittin Jr. quickly gets, he started mid and then worked the back end of that Ford Mustang up onto the bank through that front clip. Wow, Vaughn Gittin Jr. navigating through that next entire smoke as Vaughn Gittin Jr. You can see him pushing forward, lunging to the door of that Toyota Corolla hatchback. Ryan. Woo-wee, it's getting hot in her.
It's amazing that that car is running, let alone competing with the likes of Fredric Aasbo. Big props to the team. Aasbo once again starts off high on the bank. Great line. Vaughn not letting him get away. Blast through the smoke line here. Right up into the pocket, trying to close the door. Here's Aasbo through the first part of that second outside zone. Great lead run, but Vaughn is closing the door towards the end, putting an exclamation point on it. Here it is through the power alley. Not getting phased by the smoke line is Vaughn Gittin Jr. Fredric Aasbo smooth sailing out front on that lead line. And now both drivers have an opportunity to switch things up.
Here we go. Vaughn Gittin Jr. out front. Again, if you're just tuning in, we are live, but we saw earlier. Oh, hit a cone there real quick. All right, here we go. Vaughn Gittin Jr. Here you go, Gunner. Watch Dad. And again, congratulations to Fredric Aasbo, recently engaged. He's going to engage with that wall. Here we go. Vaughn Gittin Jr. Oh, Fredric Aasbo initiates right to the door. Whoa, Vaughn! Getting up tight to the wall, shredding that back bumper into that front clip, losing a tail light goes Vaughn into that second inner clip. Now into that second outer zone. Vaughn Gittin Jr. riding the lightning. You can see him just right there. Set it and forget it. The professional fun haver, Ryan.
It was a grip and speed that got the best of Fredric Aasbo at Irwindale. Aasbo opting for that side-to-side initiation. He's on a lower line here. Now he has to get up to that line. You can see a little bit of adjustment there. Vaughn, nice lead out front coming down off the bank. Some contact there. You can see parts coming off the vehicle. A little bit of separation as Aasbo tries to track him down. Vaughn going up on the bank just for a second there, but extending the distance between him and Aasbo towards the latter part of that bank. There you can see parts flying off the vehicle as we go right through that center section of the course. So much action happens there as drivers come through the smoke line, and you can see that separation. So judges now evaluating both runs.
So slide him left for Vaughn Gittin Jr., slide him right for Fredric Aasbo. Ryan says one more time, and there you go, one more time. Ryan Lontaine representing Canada. Ryan,
Thanks, Jared.
Yep. Put down your bottle of maple syrup. What do you think?
Well, mistakes were made by both drivers. While they both had areas of real shining glory, I guess you can say. They were really pushing pretty hard through this run. The thing that I didn't like about Aasbo's run is that on his chase, he actually got side-by-side with Vaughn and took a little bit of an advantage there of the initiation. He wasn't up on Vaughn's line, and that's something that the drivers are able to do, but it's considered a compromise. So maybe had he not done that and still put together a decent chase, I would have gone with something different.
We're expecting the back tires of the drivers to be on that yellow line, beyond the yellow line, on the inside of it?
On the yellow line at the most. They were both over the yellow line, coming around the finish line, and I think Vaughn might have been a little bit worse, but they both were definitely over it at that point.
Copy that. Here we go. Our next battle, Forrest Wang versus Pat Goodin. Pat Goodin right here from Orlando, and Forrest Wang from Las Vegas. Get nuts. Here we go. Forrest Wang gets high on the bank. Pat Goodin drops into formation. These two S-chassis vehicles, two very different setups. The 2JZ compared to the V. Oh, and Pat Goodin way off course. Center punches, two tires off. And a big disruption from Pat Goodin in that power alley. Donna, I know you're watching.
Watch this initiation by Forrest Wang. Watch how he gets right up on the bank. Boom, right at the initiation. stays on that line. Pat Goodin doing a great job through this section of the course, keeping an eye on Forrest Wang. But as he comes through the smoke line, he's going to transition too much on the inside. He's going to go 2 tires off, and at that point he has to make an adjustment. He's able to get the car back in drift, but by this time Forrest is way out ahead and gives himself a good opportunity to close this one out. This is coming off the bank. We just catch the tail end. There it is. You can see Pat Goodin going 2 tires off, hits that inside clip, and unfortunately that will be a mistake in the chase position.
He's going to need to put down a solid run, rivaling Forrest Wang, and he's going to need Forrest Wang to make a mistake there in that chase position. And here we go, Pat Goodin out front. Juku Racing, Achilles tires, throwing it in there. Nice job by Pat Goodin out front. Forrest Wang cannot be shaken. Now coming down into that flat portion of the track. Both these guys on Achilles, and Forrest Wang executes that very well on that second inner clip. And Pat Goodin, all these guys riding that outside yellow line. Ryan.
This is very well executed by Pat Goodin, but I think in terms of competition strategy, Forrest Wang really did a tremendous job here. I think his spotter told him, hey, look, Pat Goodin made a big mistake. Let's keep the pressure on, but let's not take too many risks. He kept right within proximity without putting himself at a risk for making contact or spinning. And from a competition standpoint, extremely well done by Forrest Wang. You have to give it up for Pat Goodin pushing to a really good lead run, but that mistake in the first run I think is going to be too much.
Slide him left for Pat Goodin or right for Forrest Wang. Forrest Wang gets the win and advances on. Next up, Justin Pawlak versus Alex Heilbrunn. JTP, Justin Pawlak, Roush Performance, Falcon Tires, Ford Mustang. He's out front. Alex Heilbrunn in the chase position. IMR, Nitto Tires, BMW. Oh, buddy. JTP, you see him fall just slightly out of drift, but then goes back at it, gets a little deeper. And then Heilbrunn chasing him down. Oh, buddy, goes off course quite a bit. Yeah, and it looks like there was some contact there, wheel-to-wheel action.
Look at JTP, that snappy initiation. Here comes Heilbrunn, keeping the pressure on. You can see he falls back for a second, realizes he's got to gain proximity. Now he's closing the door. Here comes JTP through that center section. Heilbrunn surging forward. Watch this right there. They're going to touch, and Heilbrunn is going to go off course there. He understeered after they made that connection.
And here is James Deane's team, the Wordhouse Falcon Tires technicians working on the car.
It's been a quiet James Deane weekend.
Yeah.
He had a bye in the top 32, allowing him to get through into the top 16 against Matt Kaufman.
That's right.
Clearly, from what we heard with Lorette, the vehicle is having some problems again. And hope.
Oh, that's Heilbrunn's vehicle right there. So
yeah, that's Heilbrunn.
Was fault admitted? So he's just allowed to just go thrash on his car, regardless?
Right now, we've started the clock.
Timeout.
We've started the clock on both cars, and we're still trying to assess fault. One of the cars is going to get a 5-minute, one of them is going to get a 10-minute. Hopefully, within that first 5 minutes, we'll be able to assess fault. Right now, we're looking at who was at fault for the collision. It looks like, to a couple of us, JTP may have slowed beyond the decel zone, beyond outside zone, inside clip 2, going to outside zone 2, which would then put the fault on JTP for that contact, as he's not supposed to slow there. So it's something that we're trying to figure out with the replays that we have, and it's not easy to tell, of course, but we want to make sure we're making the right call, as the call that we make will determine who's at fault for this and who will get extra time to repair their cars.
All right, so Jared, we are hearing over the comms. It looks like they are assessing fault to Alex Heilbrunn. It was unanimous, but I'm not sure if all 3 judges went for that call. Ryan, can you give us some insight?
No, the other 2 judges went with Alex Heilbrunn being at fault. To me, it looked like JTP was off throttle in an area where he wasn't supposed to be, so I said JTP, but I got outvoted, and that's how the system works. So the majority ruled in this situation, and that's how we keep things fair.
Run, Larry, run. Larry, run. All right, so as we are going back and revisiting the one more time of Aasbo and Gittin. Aasbo pulling up to the line. What a fantastic way to start top 16. Fredric, Aasbo, Vaughn, Gittin Jr. As you said, Ryan, a repeat of Irwindale last year.
Yeah, Vaughn and his team really dug down and picked up some incredible speed at Irwindale, and I think he kept that over the offseason into this season, looking very strong. Really took Aasbo into deep waters there. So here we go.
Here we go, Fredric Aasbo initiating. Whoa, Fredric Aasbo, Vaughn Jr. right there. Here we go. Oh, doctor, look at this. Through the smoke, cuts Vaughn Jr. Fredric Aasbo, massive angle past that second inner clip. Getting on that yellow line is Fredric Aasbo, and Vaughn Jr. right there to the side. Woo, you could barely put a piece of paper between them. Wow.
Well, if you're watching on Facebook, we asked you who's going to win this battle. It's 50-50 so far. Let's take a look at this. Aasbo initiates once again high on the bank. Here comes Gittin, keeping the pressure on Fredric Aasbo, now coming down off the bank through the smoke line, cutting through, falling back for a second, now getting back on it. Aasbo very consistent once again out front. Back and forth they go. This looks very similar to the first run. And we got another battle on our hands here. You can see Gittin a little bit shallower and fell back just a little bit coming through the smoke line. But then on it, picks up some grip, and boom, right there. It looks like he may have just nipped the inside bumper.
Yeah, it looked like Vaughn with that front right just nicked the back left over fender on that Corolla hatchback. Man,
it's crazy. The entertainment value from Long Beach to here in the first few battles is just not let down at all from my perspective.
No,
these guys,
not
there are no bad drivers in the series right now. Everybody's good.
Everybody's a banger, man. Anybody could win, and that's what I truly love about it. You know, just all the different varieties of engine, you know, the varieties, the international, different vehicle chassis, you know, 5-door hatchback going against iconic Ford Mustang. You know, the Corolla, it's iconic in drifting, synonymous with Toyota and tuners. So here we go. The second half of this battle, are we going to get a winner? Vaughn Jr. will lead. Fredric Aasbo drops into formation. Vaughn Jr. sliding through and dragging bumper on the wall. Sparks go flying on that transition. Looks like Vaughn Jr. A lot of disruption there from Vaughn. Oh my goodness, right on that yellow line. Ryan, let's look at that again. Again, it looked like a magic show when they went from the bank down to the flat bottom.
Aasbo again initiating on a little bit of a tighter line, trying to move his way up here to stay on the line of Vaughn Jr. Nice job by Vaughn on the bank. There goes the sparks. And right here as Aasbo tries to transition, you can see he makes that mistake, has a correction there. He's able to make it look pretty decent, but that was a mistake that the judges will catch. And the separation here is noticeable between run 1 and run 2. We've seen the one more time battle, and the results came in quickly.
And truth be told, I thought Vaughn made the mistake with the naked eye, looking at it again. And look at this, slide him left for Vaughn. Gittin Jr. gets the win, taking out Fredric Aasbo in the top 16. Gittin moves on to the Grade 8 after such a disastrous, you know, what do you got, Ryan?
No, I was just going to say,
hold on. What?
Well, the fans predicted that, actually.
Did they?
We asked them on the Facebook stream who was going to win that battle. 52% said Gittin.
And truth be told, Aasbo's your #1 qualifier. He was the guy to beat. So there's that X factor that I talked about, that just showing up and doing it and harder, better, cleaner, smoother, faster. I sound like a Daft Punk song right now. Here we go. Justin Pawlak, Alex Heilbrunn. Heilbrunn leading out here as Pawlak drops in. Heilbrunn high on the bank, and remember, you saw that contact, and Heilbrunn was at fault, but both were up in running order. Now transitioning through Heilbrunn. Looks like Pawlak falls back a little bit there. Heilbrunn, deeper angle there. Justin Pawlak, what happened there? Seemed like something.
It looks like it was on the transition. Let's take a look at it. The smoke definitely playing a factor here. You can see how bright it is, the refraction from the sun. A little bit of a lower line there from JTP. Right. Heilbrunn, great job on the bank, but as he transitions right here through the smoke line, watch, he's going to be a little bit up. He wasn't able to come down in the pocket. He lost a little bit of ground to Heilbrunn there. Heilbrunn stays on that great line on that outside zone, and you can see the separation there through the finish line. So the transition, so important, connecting the big bank to the second outside zone. And remember, that was run number 2.
Alex Heilbrunn, JTP, and slide him left for Alex Heilbrunn. Oh, look at that. JTP, 2-1, gets the win. Ryan, you were actually the only judge that sided with Heilbrunn. Your other two peers here Brian and Andy say Justin Pawlak.
So you have to go back to run 1 and see which judge gave fault to who to assess how this is going to play out after the second run. So because they both put fault on Heilbrunn for the first run's carnage, let's say, obviously in this situation, he would have had a 0, an incomplete on the first run, and on this battle, he's at a great disadvantage. But in my eyes, because I put fault on Pawlak earlier, in this case, I call Heilbrunn as the winner, and that's why I was the only one. But majority rules. In this case, JTB gets the win.
It played out in the way that you originally discussed in that first run.
That's correct.
Odi versus Gushi. What do you make of this? Ken Gushi, he's already ran 3 battles on this thing because he went through Castro not once, not twice, but 3 times in order to get the victory.
I mean, I'm of the opinion it's never too early to talk about championships, and with Aasbo going,
I know you started talking about before it started.
With Aasbo going out against Gittin, this is an opportunity for Odi Bakchis to kind of have a little bit of padding on one of his closest competitors. However, Ken Gushi had some insane chase runs and also lead runs against Jonathan Castro, and that one could have gone either way. So Gushi has come to play, but it is going to be a hard-fought battle here against Odi Bakchis, who wants to assert himself as the series leader.
Yeah, and we've seen some great things from Odi, and shout out to his wife Amy watching at home. His 2 kids, as Odi will lead first. He qualified 5th compared to Ken Gushi, qualified 12th. But qualifying, that's out the window right now. It's all about head-to-head. Odi initiates high on the bank. Ken Gushi, a little bit lower there, and look at that. Looks like spun out, or was there contact even? Looks like there's contact. We'll take a look at that again here as Odi continues on pace. And just beyond the yellow line, brings it on just slightly tighter. That Falcon Tires field suspension, S14. I don't know where the contact would be, or if just Odi.
I think it was coming down off near the D-cell area on the big bank. Gushi right there, you can see he initiated, did a pretty good job. He had a little bit of wavering, and then see how the front bumper moved? That's where he made contact with Odi Bakchis. So that is a D-cell area, and the drivers should be prepared for that. My intuition is telling me that it's probably going to be against Gushi, but we will want to confirm that with the judges. Here we go. This is on board. Let's take a look. You can see Gushi is coming up on Odi Bakchis, and right there, and then we lose him out of sight because he spins out at that point. So, Jared, we are hearing from the judges that it is unanimous that is Ken Gushi at fault, so that will be an incomplete from him on his run. That means that Odi Bakchis
major advantage. Forrest, look at the drone right over Odi doing backflips. Johnny, what do you got, bud? Let's do some flips there. Can see the drone. Woo! There you go. Nice. All right, so Ken Gushi will now lead. Odi Bakchis will chase him down. Ken Gushi with that major deficit. He spun out. He needs to really hang it all out in that Gretty Performance Toyota Racing Toyota 86. Looks like he is riding the wall. That front right wheel coming to a halt. Now comes down off the transition, front clips. Odi taking a way tighter line. Seems that front inner clip. He does not even hit it as Ken Gushi. Ryan, unfortunately, I don't think that's enough to offset his mistake on that run 1.
Yeah, I think Odi Bakchis was taking a page out of Forrest Wang's game here. Good chase run, enough to get the job done. The one little mistake that he made here as Gushi is running through his lead is he comes through a little bit wide on inside clip 1, and it gets him a little bit out of whack there, but it was not as significant as what we saw from Gushi, who got the blame for the contact and spinning out. So this should be an easy win for Odi Bakchis, who will now extend his lead, at least on Fredric Aasbo, who went out in the top 16.
Let's make it official. Slide him right for Odi Bakchis. Odi Bakchis gets the victory, advancing on. 13 battles between these guys. Ryan Tuerck winning 8 out of the 13. That leaves Yoshihara with the 5 victories. 2 very different setups. One a Subaru BRZ, one a Toyota. Obviously similar chassis, just the badging and some of the styling and headlights and whatnot. But 2 very different engines, as Yoshihara with the turbo V8, Ryan Tuerck with the 2JZ engine. And again, loud and proud Ryan Tuerck, but the exhaust note and how the vehicle is ran, and Yoshihara, a very unique sounding exhaust note from Yoshihara. Looks like the turn 14 distribution, Falcon Tires, Ineos Oil, Subaru BRZ comes out blazing. Ryan Tuerck, we'll see where he lands as Yoshihara brings it tight to the wall. Ryan Tuerck gets up there, drops down a little bit, takes out and punches that the Black Magic front clip. And Yoshihara right there on that outside zone. Ryan Tuerck now finding that distance. But Yoshihara, man, just so smooth.
Very smooth, and this initiation was a little bit lower than you like to see from Dai, but he moves up right into the crease of the wall pretty quickly. Tuerck, on the other hand, starts a little bit lower, then moves in. He kept good proximity, comes through the smoke line here. Let's take a look at how they match up. A little bit less angle there from Ryan Tuerck, but now closing the door. Yoshihara right in the crease. Here comes Ryan Tuerck, keeping the pressure on as they finish things up. So a good back and forth battle here.
Letting the smoke dissipate, and it looks like we are clear to send. Thumbs up, good to go. Look at Yoshihara on the right-hand side. That was something they changed early on just to make sure Dai was comfortable with the vehicle. Here we go. No cones hit, no false start. Ryan Tuerck into the first outer zone. High, good angle from Tuerck as Yoshihara slowly creeps his way to the side of the GT86 and cuts through the smoke. Ryan Tuerck tight to that second inner clip. And now rides that outer zone. Yoshihara falling back quite a bit there. Lead versus lead, chase versus chase, Ryan.
You know, it'll be one of the greatest stories of the year if Ryan Tuerck is able to put together a great campaign. This vehicle actually looks maybe even better prepared than the other car. And, you know, Chris Forsberg was saying because maybe the chassis is just newer and fresher. Here we see him getting a great jump. Daijiro Yoshihara started off with a little bit of gap on the bank, then reeled him in. Then coming through that center section, Dai fell back a little bit, and then really towards the end, Tuerck gets on the throttle, stays deep in that zone. Here comes Dai through that center section, and you can see what he is dealing with that massive smoke plume coming off Ryan Tuerck's vehicle, and you can see that separation there towards the finish line.
So slide him left for Tuerck or right for Yoshihara. Ryan, Andy, and Brian. Ryan says Yoshihara. Brian says one more time, and Andy says Yoshihara gets the win. Yoshihara advances on. Here we go. Moving on to our next battle. We have 3 more battles left in the 16.
Ooh.
Forsberg and Deane. The question is James the Machine Deane 100%? Not so much him, but the car.
Yeah, no, I mean, that is going to be the question that we'll want to get answered, and I'm sure we're going to find out right here because in the chase position, Deane is known as one of the best, if not the best in the world. Obviously, coming off 2 back-to-back championships, he has that respect from everybody. Chris Forsberg, on the other hand, he won here last year against James Deane in the finals. Deane had a power steering issue that ended him going up into the wall. End him. He went into the wall, and so now this is a repeat of last year's finals, except for the starting order is switched. James Deane took the lead the first time around.
Forsberg qualified higher than James Deane this instance in this round. Here we go. Chris the Force Forsberg, and NOS energy drink. 370Z on Nexon tires. James Deane chasing him down. Wurtenhouse Drift Team, Falcon tires, S15. Oh boy! Contact right out of the gate as Forsberg initiates. And now that tip to tail. So Forsberg, you can see, continues on through the course. Hopefully it's just cosmetic for both of the drivers.
Okay.
But yeah, I want Lantain to step in here because this is what do you got?
I'll tell you what I saw, and then we can, because Ryan is going to be evaluating, but the lead driver always has the right of way on initiation.
Oh, boy.
And what we saw there from first pass was that James Deane was right next to Chris Forsberg when Chris dipped down to do his initiation, and Chris hit him and did not give him room to initiate. Here it is going on board. So he's side by side, and Chris taps him right there. Now Chris is allowed to do that. He has the right of way on initiation. And Ryan, let's bring you in and just give us some deeper perspective on that.
No, you're exactly right, Ryan. We've been using this system this season. The lead car has the right of way. We tell the chase car, if you want to get beside the lead car, you can do that, but if you get in the way, you're going to be held responsible for anything like this that happens. Deane should not have been there. You should have been giving him the room to do what he wanted to do. It's a risk you're taking by going on that inside line like that, knowing that the lead car could initiate in that sense. So in this case, he's at fault. He also has an incomplete because he straightened. Chris initiated and completed the course, so for him, it's not a problem at all.
All right, so it looks like James Deane, as you said, he is at fault. And James Deane looks like he is leaving the track right now. So here we go. Let's go back. The car might look similar, but it is not. It's Piotr Wiecek versus Michael Essa. So Piotr Wiecek and the Wordhouse Drift team, Falcon Tires, S15 Silvia, Michael Essa and the Essa Autosports, Achilles Tire, BMW.
Watch Wiecek's initiation.
Boom. Goes right to it. Michael Essa right there. Woo-hoo-hoo! Are you kidding me? Michael Essa riding shotgun with Wiecek. Can't even see him. He's tucked in the smoke. Blasts the back end. Oh, narrowly makes it, but Piotr Wiecek continues on through the course. Make some noise, Orlando, and around the world. Tell your friends, tune in, because if you're not, you're missing out.
Michael Essa,
wow,
really just brought his inner Jonathan Castro on the bank.
What?
Unbelievable on the bank right there by Michael Essa. Now watch as he comes through the smoke line. We're going to see parts. We see contact there. That was a little bit before the decel area, but we got to get the judges in on this. They are going to have to assess fault. Essa not able to finish.
Look at this,
the run.
look at this, look at here.
Beautiful by Michael Essa.
So sick. Look at the tire mark on the door.
Just touching the door here. Let's see, we're going to catch this through the smoke line right there.
Yeah.
Just like he was a bit close on the transition.
Yeah, you guys are exactly right. He just was in the wrong spot, just a little too close. Barely got the back of Peter's car, but it is going to be Essa at fault. And good job, though. Amazing aggression through outside zone 1. Great job there, but Peter's going to have the time to fix his car if he needs it.
That's a what a shame situation, right?
As Chelsea DeNofa will now, so it's Chelsea DeNofa and Matt Field, the All-American battle, Mustang versus Corvette. Chelsea DeNofa, who drove like a maniac in the previous battle, but man, so we've seen both James Deane and Wiecek take a licking and have to retire after the first run of their battle. So now what would be the last battle of the top 16 is definitely not. So DeNofa versus Field. Here we go. Chelsea DeNofa, Matt Field in the chase position. Chelsea initiates Matt Field a little bit lower, and Lorette was talking about the gremlins that Matt Field had. As DeNofa slams down, there's some more sparks. Field cuts through the smoke as DeNofa shreds that back bumper once again. Man, body parts. The parts graveyard, I saw it when during the halftime break, Ryan, just out of the chute where the cars come in and out. There were a bunch of bumpers, and they're going to be getting a lot more parts over there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Here we go with Chelsea DeNofa and Matt Field. We know Field had some issues with the vehicle. We didn't know what they were. Now coming into the top 16, DeNofa goes up a little bit on the bank. Gets a little bit tight on that line, but Matt Field starting to reel him in here. So a bit of a back and forth as we come through this center section. Both drivers make it out unscathed. DeNofa got off to a good jump. He was pretty high on the bank. Field was a little bit lower and had a little bit less angle. Then Field was able to close it, and then Chelsea pulled separation after the center section. So switching things up with Matt Field taking the lead, DeNofa chasing him down.
Matt Field will now lead. Chelsea DeNofa giving chase. I think it's the water-cooled muffler bearing that's hitting the ground. Yeah. See how many people troll. Here we go. Matt Field in that Falcon Tires, Borla exhaust, Vortex supercharged. Corvette and Chelsea DeNofa as the sun is setting. The smoke. Oh, man, hanging it out. Chelsea. Wow. That was very interesting. And again, talking with Matt, he says slamming down like that bent some stuff earlier. Ryan, we were talking about it earlier. But watch the replay here. Matt Field hung it out quite a bit, but Chelsea, man, he called an audible.
Great bit of driving here for Chelsea DeNofa. You can see he's on the same line as Matt Field on the bank, closing the door. Now this could have got bad right here. He was surging, but he makes an adjustment, avoids contact, but he still stays on it. Field out front, trying to stay deep into this zone, doing a great job in the lead position, and Chelsea DeNofa trying to slowly reel him in towards that last section. Let's take a look at this. Watch this adjustment here by DeNofa in the smoke line. He backs off, just grazes the bumper of Matt Field, and what a great bit of defensive driving there, as it looks like he was coming off the bank with a lot of speed and really did a good job not to make contact there.
All right. Do we have a victor? Slide him left for Field or right for DeNofa. Ryan says one more time. Andy says DeNofa, and Brian says Chelsea DeNofa gets the win. DeNofa advances on into the grade 8. Lontaine, you sided actually with the one more time. Your two judges real quick because we got Essa and Piotr.
I just felt that Matt Field won the lead. He did a much better job of hitting inside clip 2 and not overshooting outside zone 2, whereas Chelsea missed inside clip 2 and overshot outside zone 2. So I felt that Matt won the lead and Chelsea won the chase. The other judges did not feel that way.
And they went
with DeNofa. Yeah.
Went with DeNofa. Okay, so we collectively have a whole battle left, but one half with Essa and Piotr, and the other half with Forsberg and Deane. So we saw the contact there between Essa and Piotr. If you can recall it, just a few moments ago, Michael Essa was at fault. Great chase job, but unfortunately got too close for comfort. Oh, and Essa hard into the wall. Essa throws it right in and just rides the wall.
Knowing Michael Essa, he was going to go as hard as he possibly could to try to get this one back because he was absolutely on point today in terms of his chase run against Peter Wiecek. And let's watch the first one again. I think this is worth seeing 100 times. Boom, right into the pocket and closing. He's on the exact same line as Peter Wiecek, right on the door. I mean, there's literally nothing more he could have done in that particular area of the course, but made that mistake. So he had an incomplete there, and now he goes into the wall on his lead. And wow, look at the front left, Jared. Right up here.
Oh, man.
Big damage to the car on the left side. Obviously, we can just see the front left, and let's make it official.
And slide him right for Peter Wiecek. Round of applause for Michael Essa, please. So as Piotr advances, we have one more half of battle left. Our next battle will be an all-Falcon battle, JTP and Odi Bakchis. All right, so Yoshihara will go against the winner of this battle, and that will forge our Great 8. As Forsberg will be pulling to the line. He's in the chase position. James Deane will lead as this is the second half. The two-time defending champion, Chris Forsberg, the three-time champion. 5 championships between these two drivers. Here we go. James the Machine Deane. Oh, man, it looks like jump the line. I mean, for just these guys, just the caliber of driving, Andy, Brian, Ryan, we were just talking about it, just the caliber of driving today has just been absolutely insane, but everybody's kind of on edge as well. We saw that in Pro 2 and here in Pro. I feel like it's the most amount of strikes we've seen at an event in quite some time. Rock one. James the Machine Deane, clean start, no cones hit, and James initiates. Forsberg on the chase as James tight to the wall. Nice job right now. Chris Forsberg brings it in tight and close on the transition, slams down. Looks like James Deane loses that back bumper, wraps it around that second inside clip, and into that outer zone goes James Deane. And so does Forsberg. But with that contact on that first run, I think it's too little too late.
Well, Deane was going to need a very significant mistake from Chris in order to force a one more time to have the lead comparisons. That would have been the incomplete from both chases in this particular case. Coming through that center section, we see some parts falling off there. Of course, we got a little bit less angle, but ultimately what we're looking at here is a big bar. Unfortunately, this battle had some premature conclusions because of that.
There we go. Chris Forsberg gets the win. I was listening to you talking, bro. So James Deane is out, and our Great 8 is shaped up. It is Vaughn Gittin Jr. versus Forrest Wang, JTP versus Odi, Yoshihara versus Forsberg, Piotr Wiecek versus Chelsea DeNofa. Great 8 up next here at AutoZone Scorch, presented by Black Magic. Welcome back to AutoZone Scorch, presented by Black Magic. Our first pair warming up their tires. Vaughn Gittin Jr. got Nittos, and Forrest Wang warming up his Achilles tires. Look at that, 3-1. Forrest Wang winning 3 out of the 4 battles between these guys, but you can see the winning percentage of Vaughn Gittin Jr. being in since day 1. Forrest Wang, he's definitely a veteran of the sport as far as competing in FD. Probably 10 years or so. getting all the cobwebs out in that last battle against Fredric Aasbo. Forrest Wang making his way through Pat Goodin. And then earlier that, Ryan Literal, man, all the way back at 32, and that was a great battle. Ryan Literal and Forrest Wang. Here we go. Forrest Wang out front. Vaughn Gittin Jr. in the chase position, initiating. Whoa! Vaughn! Wow! That looked like it was going to get into some serious calamity. Sparks throwing once again as Forrest Wang wraps it around that second front clip. Vaughn Gittin Jr. chases him down. And this is what Vaughn was talking about. He wants to give it back. Are you kidding me? Make some noise. Ryan, I see you shaking your head. Are you just astonished or what, man?
Oh, he is bringing the chase game today. Initiates right into it, starts surging forward.
Whoa.
Comes down a little bit low, makes a little bit of a mistake, but it was an aggressive mistake. Forrest up high, great job on the bank. Now Vaughn coming through the smoke line, surging forward as Vaughn Gittin Jr. looking for this opportunity here. He gets right up in the pocket. You can see Forrest Wang is on that deep line, but Vaughn is not letting him get away, pushing all the way through the finish line. Here's on the big bank. You can see where Vaughn surged forward. Obviously, that is not a decel area, so Forrest needs to maintain consistent forward momentum there. Looks like Vaughn was just coming up real aggressive, and that was a great way to start the grade 8.
Oh. Ooh. Yeah, look at this. Oh, my goodness. So here we go. Vaughn Gittin Jr. will now lead. But I was going to say, if he was right-hand drive, Forrest probably, whoa, but he wasn't. He was on the other side. Here we go. Looks like we got a clean start here. Vaughn Gittin Jr. throws it in. And more angle at it towards the second half of that outer zone. Now brings it in. Little hop, skip, and a spark into that second front clip. Can't see Forrest Wang as Vaughn Gittin Jr. brings it on through the fun haver, Vaughn Gittin Jr., and man, you could barely see Forrest Wang. Man, what is going on here?
Vaughn got a great jump. He starts off nice and high on the bank. Watch Forrest go down low. He knows he needs to catch up. He actually puts the front bumper down below that yellow line, but now Forrest starts to attack through the smoke line. He's getting some back now. Vaughn hits the second outside zone, the pedal all the way down, mashing it, pulls a little bit of a gap. Forrest a little bit less angled there towards the end.
Slide him left for Vaughn Gittin Jr., right for Forrest Wang, and it is unanimous. Vaughn Gittin Jr. gets the win and pushes on through. So Ryan, from zero opportunity to competing to right now, he's in the Final Four. Yeah, unbelievable. So some teal and blue all over the track, courtesy of these gentlemen. You can see they're tied 3-3. Justin Pawlak, Odi Bakchis. Odi Bakchis qualifying 5th. And JTP better him by 1 position in 4th. Here we go. JTP and Odi Bakchis. Our second battle of the grade 8. Look at Odi right there. Once again, JTP riding that wall. Odi not frazzled at all. Allows him to cut in front of him, no problem. Look at him bringing it right around. That second inside clip, Odi Bakchis banging on the door of JTP.
Unbelievable.
This might be one of the most insano events ever.
Perfect initiation in the chase position by Odi Bakchis to get right on line with Justin Pawlak. Great job there. Beautiful lead by JTP out front, but Odi not to be shaken. A little tiny correction there coming across the center, but he gets right back on it. Door-to-door action here by Odi Bakchis and Justin Pawlak. Incredible run back and forth. There was that little correction right there by Odi, but he was able to get right back on this outside zone as JTP is finishing up a solid lead run, and that's an example of a great lead producing a great chase.
Every battle is a banger. I mean, straight up. Door banging, clutch kicking, tire rubbing, smoke burning, like unbelievable. Here we go. The second half of this battle. JTP and Odi Bakchis will lead. Justin Pawlak giving chase. Looks like Odi Bakchis initiates. Justin Pawlak cutting through the smoke. A lot of smoke being accumulated. Again, that combination of sun and smoke. And Odi Bakchis slams down in that flat section as JTP brings it on home. A great chase job, a good lead run there from Odi.
Man,
it looked like Odi almost got a Mustang in the back end a couple times.
JTP wants to get him back on this chase run. He starts off great as Odi Bakchis is on that nice high line. Backing away now as we see these guys come through this inside clip and through that center section. Here comes JTP. Nice line by Odi Bakchis, finishing up strong here, surging towards the end, but JTP is not letting him go.
Slide him left for Odi. Ryan says Odi. Andy says one more time, and Brian says Odi Bakchis. Odi gets the win. Look at these guys, two veterans, two day oneers, as Yoshihara and Chris Forsberg, great friends. Wow, look at that. We'll get to that here in a moment. But Yoshihara, Chris Forsberg, who's going to advance on into the Final Four? Yoshihara, turn 14 distribution, Falcon Tires, Ineos Oil, Subaru BRZ out front. Forsberg in that chase position. Yoshihara initiates. Great angle, good proximity to the wall as Forsberg inches closer and closer to Yoshihara. Coming down out of that smoke into that second inner zone. You see Chris Forsberg lunging forward with that VR, the GTR engine, and Yoshihara sets it right on the line, and Forsberg now finds a sweet spot. Ryan, you pointed out here, they asked fans if Vaughn could go all the way, and 69% of the fans are saying yes.
And Chris trying to go all the way here, initiates a little bit lower and a little bit less angle. Dai also wants to find himself on the podium with that high qualification. Coming through that center section, you can see Chris loses a little bit of angle there, makes a correction. He surges back forward to get proximity, but now you've seen the chase run from Chris Forsberg and the lead run from Daijiro Yoshihara. Here we go on board. You can see just that angle difference, that line difference between Daijiro Yoshihara and Chris coming through that center section. You really get a nice fine-grained look of what's going on with the cars through the drone shot and the comparison between both, especially in those really critical sections coming through the center of the course.
Where are my drifting fans at? Should be each and every one of you. Hashtag FDORL. Let everybody know. So there we go. Little hesitation to let the smoke clear from that outside zone. Forsberg will lead. Yoshihara will give chase. Forsberg in the NOS energy drink. 370Z on next time. Forsberg initiates. Now turns it on. Turns on the smoke machine. Yoshihara drops into formation. Forsberg now going into that first front clipping point. Yoshihara center punches it. As Chris Forsberg, takes it out once again. And Forsberg gets right there into that crease in that outside zone as Yoshihara just a little bit. Ryan, let's look at it again.
Well, Chris gets a good jump here. You can see that same initiation he did against James Deane. Filling in the back end here is Daijiro Yoshihara. Great job on proximity on that section of the course, but falling behind here on the crossover. Chris hits that second hash mark on that inside clip, now pushes out wide, and we lose Dai on the smoke line, but you can see from this angle quite a bit of distance between the two coming across the finish line.
Slide him left for Forsberg, right for Yoshihara. Ryan says Forsberg. Brian says one more time. Andy says Chris Forsberg gets the win. Chris Forsberg gets the win, advancing on. Here we go, our last battle of the grade 8. Piotr Wiecek qualifying third, going against Chelsea DeNofa, who qualified sixth. Ryan, we saw DeNofa go through field, as well as Taylor Hull and Piotr Wiecek. You saw him go against Essa taking himself out. But here we go, the Polish driver against the All-American Chelsea DeNofa. And there you go, initiating Piotr Wiecek. And look at DeNofa right there. Piotr Wiecek, DeNofa right on the door of the S15. The smoke signal as DeNofa cuts through it. Whoa, massive angle there from DeNofa. Whoa! Are you kidding me? He just threw a grappling hook at his car and latched on. What did he like?
I think
he hit the mushroom or something. I don't know what, like the arrows.
He hit an unintended three-wheel motion, I think,
Wow.
coming across that center section. Great initiation by Piotr Wiecek, nice and high on the bank. DeNofa trying to reel him in here. After the initiation, they come back down on the bank. Here comes DeNofa through the smoke line. Swinging through a big angle from DeNofa. He almost lifts up right there, is able to fit right in the pocket, catches Piotr Wiecek, and reels him in through the finish line, probably the closest that we've seen. Here it is on board. DeNofa just goes off a little bit on course, and then right there attacks.
No, a little closer. Little closer, dude. That was insane. All right, here we go. Chelsea DeNofa, Piotr Wiecek. Chelsea out front. And it looks like we got a clean start as Chelsea throws it in. And that BC Racing, Nitto Tire, Ford Performance Mustang, RTR Spec 5. Massive angle there from DeNofa. Piotr Wiecek pedals back, tempers the flame. You can see Chelsea, a wide swing around that second inside zone. Now Piotr Wiecek does what Chelsea did in his run. Oh, man. Cowboy.
Unbelievable.
Ready to rowdy. Look at that.
Wiecek trying to get him back. I mean, the only difference here is Wiecek gave a big gap on the bank to Chelsea DeNofa. Both guys compressed coming down off the bank. Now here comes Wiecek. He's like, you want to get close? Here we go. I'm going to tuck in right here on this outside zone and really reel you in towards the finish line. The only thing I would say, how you doing?
How you doing?
The only thing I would say is he gave a little bit of room on the big bank, and that is going to play in. Both the lead and the lead runs from DeNofa and Wiecek will have to be evaluated.
Thanks. Slide him left for DeNofa, right for Piotr Wiecek. Ryan, Andy, and Brian say. Ryan says one more time. Andy says one more time, and they are unanimous. One more time. Right now, we are actually just going to wait for Piotr and DeNofa to change tires because we can't advance on. Because Gittin and Odi, they're in the final four. Chris Forsberg will go against the winner, Piotr Wiecek or Chelsea DeNofa. We'll return grade 8. This is the one more time battle between the Candyman and Ready to Rowdy. Chelsea, don't call me girl DeNofa. It's an old school nickname, bringing it back. BC Racing, Nitto Tires, Ford Performance Mustang, RTR, Spec 5D for Drift. As the Wordhouse Drift Team Sylvia S15 leaves the start line. And here we go. Piotr Wiecek initiates. Chelsea DeNofa right there. Straight line approach. Chelsea DeNofa hammers down. Piotr Wiecek trying to pull away. That's not what it's about. It's about angle and getting it tight to that front clip as they both do. Chelsea jumps up out of the smoke. Rising like a phoenix out of the smoke. Unbelievable. And there he is once again. Oh, and some tap, some love tap from these two drivers. Ryan, smiles for miles, bro.
So much aggression and precision and just clean driving all around by both drivers. Wiecek out front, a very clean, solid lead run. Here comes DeNofa with the aggression, pouring it on here. Big smoke line by Piotr Wiecek coming down off the bank. Through the smoke line is DeNofa. Little bit less angle there. He makes a correction, but he gets back on it and he keeps the aggression on. Meanwhile, Piotr Wiecek is setting the standard as they touch bumpers there. Now coming through, you can see this is where DeNofa has that little bit of a mistake through that center section, but he's really bringing it back right after that by keeping the pressure on Piotr Wiecek. So we've seen the lead run from Piotr Wiecek. We've seen the chase run from Chelsea DeNofa. Now let's switch things up.
All right, looks like we're good to go. And a clean start. DeNofa out front. BC Racing, Nitto Tires, Ford Performance Mustang RTR, Spec 5D. Dragon bumper on the wall. Piotr Wiecek, let's see how he handles it. Sparks in his face, no problem. DeNofa tight to that front clip. As Wiecek, look at him. Now he's going to give it back. Is he going to rub door? Woo-wee! Ooh-wee, Rick.
It seems like at first pass that DeNofa had at least an equal lead run to Piotr Wiecek. He's nice and high on the bank, so the question is going to be, does he do that throughout the remainder of the course, filling the lead run's obligations? And does Wiecek have as good of a chase as Chelsea DeNofa? DeNofa right in the pocket there on that edge of the crease of that outside zone, and Wiecek pouring it on there towards the end.
Some awesome driving here between all of the drivers. Hey, round of applause for all the drivers here today, both Pro 2, Pro, and slide them left for DeNofa. Chelsea DeNofa gets the win. DeNofa advances on, taking out Piotr Wiecek. So, Lantain, you got your headset on, and it was unanimous.
Yes, it was. The Mustangs seem to be on a whole other level today. The level of aggression, how close they're getting to walls, the throttle usage, how close they're getting to the other drivers. It's both drivers here. In this case, Chelsea DeNofa was just a little bit closer throughout. It looked like Wiecek was a little bit further behind, and especially in outside zone 1. He wasn't throwing the car quite as aggressively towards Chelsea's door, and Chelsea was right on his door for the majority of the run. So Chelsea gets the win.
Our first battle of the Final Four. Vaughn Gittin Jr. went hard in the wall before 32 began, and now here he is. He's in the Final Four. If you would have told him that would have happened, he wouldn't have believed you. Odi Bakchis, this is a familiar space. He got the win in Long Beach. He is your highest qualifying driver. He is guaranteed, at minimum, 3rd place. But Vaughn Gittin Jr. is going to keep trying to continue this success. Odi Bakchis, the Falcon Tires, Field Suspension, S14.5. Vaughn Gittin Jr., the Monster Energy, Nitto Tire, Ford Performance, Mustang, RTR, Spec 5. Here we go, our first battle of the Final Four. Odi initiates. Vaughn Gittin Jr. initiates a little bit lower. Doesn't find that extra hidden horsepower that he saw earlier. Oh, doctor, look at that. An extra little flick of the wrist as he allows Odi to pass on by. Odi fills that outside zone. He knocks over the indicator of the beginning of that outside zone. And there is that extra little lunge for the professional fun haver. Ryan?
Well, a great start here to the Final Four. Odi Bakchis quietly gaining more momentum here. Amazing line on the bank. Vaughn initiated a little bit lower. Now watch, he's going to bring angle into the car because he doesn't want to hit Odi, and he gives some room to Odi in doing so. Odi a little bit deep into that zone. Great job here by Vaughn to reel him in towards the end, but very smooth and consistent by Odi Bakchis. Let's watch going on board. Vaughn's going to he's going to angle up the car here so he doesn't hit Odi, and in doing so, he loses that ground. He kind of has to take some angle out of the car, then get that angle into that second outside zone to finish it up. But he was able to close the door. Odi Bakchis, on the other hand, smooth, solid, clean lead run.
Looks like we are ready to send it. Smoke clearing out the second half of this battle. Who's going to the finals? Is it Vaughn Gittin Jr. or Odi Bakchis? Where are my Vaughn fans at? Make some noise. Where are my Odi fans at? Make some noise. Where are my drifting fans at? Make some noise! Send it! Here we go! Vaughn Gittin Jr., Odi Bakchis, the second half of this battle. Vaughn initiates. Big angle from Vaughn Gittin Jr. Takes a little bit out of it as Odi Bakchis. You can see him inching closer, cuts through the smoke, sparks all over that S14. Whoa! Odi Bakchis, a big correction. A mistake, a straining there. As Vaughn Gittin Jr. into that second outer zone. The fans are hyped. We're seeing fist pumps. We're seeing people lose their minds here in the stands, Ryan.
I saw 3 people jump out of their seats. Vaughn Gittin Jr. initiates right into the wall, makes a little bit of adjustment there. Here comes Odi Bakchis, not letting him run away. Off the bank, sparks fly Odi through this center section. You can see he has to angle down, and he makes a little bit of a correction there. Then he gives some room to Vaughn Gittin Jr. So we've seen the back and forth, the tit for tat here, and the run is over. Let's look at this from the drone. You can see Odi was on a slightly lower line there for a second, then he got back up on it, coming through the bank, now off down into the center section. This is where Odi was on that bit of a tighter line there. Vaughn was able to reach out to that outside zone, stick it right on that yellow line, and beautiful job in executing that final section of the course.
So basically, who will win the Final Four battle, Vaughn or Odi? Oh, look at this slide. Oh, one more time. They're going at it again. So Vaughn said, or Andy says Vaughn. Ryan and Brian say one more time. Ryan Lantain, again, one more time. If you can, elaborate, please.
Yeah, for me, it was the amount of mistakes that were made by both drivers in the chase position, especially. The leads were pretty good. They were up high on the bank. Vaughn had a little bobble, might have been a little bit higher. But in the chase position, they both had their mistakes. Vaughn was a little bit sloppy in the chase, and Odi was not super close in the chase himself. So you kind of take the close with some mistakes, or the far away a little bit smoother, and say that it was kind of even. So we go with it one more time.
All right, thank you, Ryan. So Chris Forsberg, Chelsea DeNofa, 4-time battles between them, and Forsberg 75%. You can see 3-1 Chelsea DeNofa. DeNofa's been very chill. Forsberg has been very adamant. Again, during halftime break, he went and did an activation over there at Black Magic and an AutoZone. Then he was up here doing BC Racing. He's all over the place. You know, 2 very kind of different ideologies, 2 very talented drivers. You know, partying at the bar tonight, I guarantee, regardless of the outcome. I mean, everybody's just driven absolutely amazing. But right now, who's going to the finals? DeNofa or Forsberg? Send it, Orlando. really flirting with that cone. DeNofa throws it in. Big angle there from DeNofa. Looks like he's pulling away from Forsberg. Forsberg's going to try to gain some ground here on this first front clip. And Forsberg now dives in on that front clip. And DeNofa sets it into that outside zone. You can see Forsberg inching closer and closer. And a great straightforward run, Ryan.
DeNofa got a really quick jump out of the gate and quickly swooped down into the initiation point, then back up right there into the wall. Forsberg playing catch up here, and you can see trying to close this door on Chelsea DeNofa through the smoke line. A little bit less angle there from Chris. Look at DeNofa connecting this final section. Little bit, like to see him a little bit deeper there as Chris started to reel him in there towards the end. You were talking about it earlier with Pro 2. This is when it starts to get a little bit better, but it's still very challenging. The drivers are looking right into the sun, and the smoke and the refraction of the sun off the smoke is just really difficult for us. Imagine them.
Driving 1,000 horsepower rocket ship. Chris Forsberg leading that NOS Energy Drink 370. Oh, and contact made. Oh, and DeNofa goes into the wall. Forsberg continues. DeNofa goes hard into the wall, and if Forsberg continues through, he will go to the finals. And there it is. It looks like, man, make some noise for these savages out here. No risk it, no biscuit. DeNofa goes hard. Let's look at it again here, Ryan.
Chris drops down. Here's DeNofa. He initiates, and it looks like right there he catches the back of Chris Forsberg. His bumper comes off. Looks like he loses traction, and then he goes up into the wall. There is a decel area there, so I think just from what we're seeing here, it looks like a little bit over-aggressive by Chelsea DeNofa. You can't fault him. He's been absolutely on fire. Every move he's made this weekend has paid off in his favor, but you can see that surging there after initiation, and then right there the front wheels turn to the right, and he goes into the wall.
So RTR is guaranteed a podium either way, and here are the results. Let's make it official. Slide him left for Forsberg or right for DeNofa, and there it is. It's unanimous. Chris Forsberg gets the win as he's going to the finals. Forsberg in the NOS Energy Drink 370Z. We are waiting to get Chelsea DeNofa's BC Racing Nitto Tire Ford Performance Mustang RTR Spec 5D off the course. And again, the scenario is Forsberg goes to the finals, DeNofa waits in the wings, and we have the one more time battle of Gittin and Odi Bakchis. If Gittin goes to the finals, Odi would get third place. If Odi goes to the finals, DeNofa would get third place. So
cleanup on aisle 9, just about done here. We'll take a quick break and come right back to the AutoZone Scorch presented by Black Magic.
All right, Ryan, as we come back here, that is how it began for Vaughn Gittin Jr. That was in practice. That was moments, minutes before practice was over. He is kind of missing something. The front wheels, the front left corner saw the brunt of it, and then Ryan Literal with the back end of his vehicle hit the other side to just take that wheel off too. So, but here he is now. He's in the Final Four. To just be back and to compete, and then to win at 32, cool. 16, holy cow, this is happening. 8, no way. Like, come on. Final Four, dude, we're partying tonight. I like how you said that. You said that earlier, and it's unbelievable.
What's the next step after partying?
Oh, dude, I don't know. Retiring? I don't know. Here we go. Vaughn Gittin Jr., but Odi Bakchis is leading in that Falcon Tires Field Suspension S14. Oh, and you know who doesn't care about Vaughn Gittin Jr. right now? Odi Bakchis stepping up in a major way. Whoa, slamming down Vaughn Gittin Jr., skinning the back end of that S14, bringing the heat. Are you kidding me? Look at this. Unbelievable run from Odi Bakchis out front, and Vaughn Gittin Jr. is the Mustang Shadow. Woo!
Whatever way you want to put it,
wow.
Odi Bakchis has been asserting himself as the leader of this championship, and he does it right here with this first run in the lead. Vaughn makes a little bit of a mistake. It was an impressive mistake, and he dropped down on the bank, and then he says, I got to get this back. Here I come. I'm going to shut the door on Odi Bakchis. Right here, I'm going to lock in. So proximity from the transition to here, absolutely phenomenal by Vaughn Gittin Jr. The lead run made that possible from Odi Bakchis. Let's see what happens here on initiation. He kind of dives down, nearly taps Odi Bakchis. he locks up the front, and he has to dip down a bit more. So a bit of a mistake there from Vaughn, but he's able to get it back from this section of the course. Just beautifully done. A little bit tight on the transition, but overall, a good way to start this Final Four. Odi Bakchis looked great. He knows what he needs to do in the chase position here. We know how fast Vaughn is, and both of these drivers are going to be giving it their all to try to find their way to the finals.
I was just telling the judges, this is probably one of the most engaging FD events. Every single battle is just absolutely bonkers. Here we go. Vaughn Gittin Jr., Odi Bakchis. Who's going to the finals? Who's going against Forsberg? Vaughn Gittin Jr. initiates the sunset. Smoke is thick. Odi Bakchis starts on a lower line, but he brings it back up. Vaughn Gittin Jr. hammering down with that Ford Performance engine. Wow. Sparks, fireworks. Odi Bakchis jumps on the inside. Takes out that front inner clipping point as Vaughn sets it, forgets it, brings it on home across the finish line. Ryan, do we have a winner? Which way does the needle go?
Well, Vaughn made that little bit of mistake in the chase, but he made it back up. A bit smoother here in the chase by Odi Bakchis, getting right up on the door. He started off a bit lower, however, now coming through the center section. Watch Odi transition through this inside. Bit less angle there than Vaughn Gittin Jr., but now makes his way through the smoke line. Something happens in here where Vaughn pulls a bit of a gap towards the end. I mean, it's a gap relative to what we've seen. It's not that big of a gap, but still, we've seen such close battles, and that's where you really get some insight to the difference in line and angle from Odi, from the lead to chase position there between Vaughn and Odi on that second run. Whew.
Yeah, right? Catch your breath. You know, 10-10s. Here we go. Who's going to the finals? Or are they going one more time? So, oh, look at Ryan says one more time. Andy says Odi Bakchis. Brian says one more time. Ryan Lontaine, OMT.
Yeah, Brian and I said one more time.
Thank you.
So I was just conferring with Brian. We both agree that they did similar leads. They did a great job on their leads. It came down to the chase run where they were both making errors in the chase. Vaughn was a little bit, he wasn't very accurate, let's say, on his initiation. He had a couple of bobbles there. Odi also came in low, but had to work his way up. He was smoother, but still wasn't ideal there. They both made a couple of errors in the infield going to inside clip 2. So we'd like to see them clean that portion up, but keep their leads just as clean as they were.
Well, it's been a beautiful day out here at Orlando Speed World, Ryan. I mean, we saw rain, and I think we really scored this weekend. I know coming into it, you know, a week out, things change very fast here in Florida.
Yeah, usually when I see rain, it's a depressive state that comes over me, knowing that it could just, you know, hurt the overall competition, the event, the funness, and, you know,
funness, I like that word.
A lot of this is about being with people that you love to spend time with and having a good time. And drifting is all about having a good time. We're having a great time in competition now. We're seeing this one more time battle come to a head here. Odi talked about the challenges of trying to figure out Vaughn's driving style and then wanting to give his best performance, needing to make some adjustments on his chase. They've had a moment to think about it, put new tires on, and here we go.
All right, the second one more time battle. Odi Bakchis, Vaughn Gittin Jr. falling asleep at the light. Odi initiates, but there goes Vaughn. Slingshots forward, right next to Odi. Now coming down. That's the chase that they were looking for, I believe. They're the judges. Goes offline just a little bit, dips that front left tire. Now Odi Bakchis sets it into that outside zone, and Vaughn does once again.
Well, Vaughn got a bit of a bad jump out of the gate. He let Odi run away. Nice snap by Odi, but here comes Vaughn, closing the gap up on the bank. Odi staying strong, going door to door through that inside clip, through the smoke line is Gittin, but Odi is holding him off as Odi reaches out to this second outside zone, going a little bit high there, allowing that door to open up for Vaughn, who touches his door, and they close up run number 1. Great job by both drivers here. Looks like both sides kind of cleaned it up. Vaughn got a little bit of a late jump out of the gate, and there it is. That front right tire rubbing up against Odi Bakchis' door. Switching things up now, Jared. Vaughn Gittin Jr. will be in the lead position. Odi Bakchis will chase him down. And one thing I'm noticing, as now the sun has gone below the tree line, it is a heck of a lot easier to see that inside clip from our vantage point. I hope that it's helping the drivers, because the sun was absolutely brutal.
And the shadow, you can see, is consuming more of the track. It's almost all up to the, about the 2 cone hanging off of the fence, and that's a good sign. So it looks like the entirety of the track, probably majority of it, 70%, is covered by shadow. So it's consistent for the drivers. So you're not going from bright sun to dark shadows. Here we go. The second half of this battle. Who's going to the finals? Vaughn Gittin Jr. The second one more time as Vaughn initiates. Odi Bakchis right there. These twin V8 cars obviously under the Mustang, and then Odi Bakchis with that supercharged V8 slamming down into the flat portion of the track. Odi Bakchis now surges in attack. Are we going to get a victor? As Vaughn sets it into the outside zone, these guys are absolutely killing it. Ryan, are they going again?
Oh, man.
Oh, my gosh, that X Factor, bro. Seriously.
The class of 2019 is just on fire here. Vaughn, great line on the bank. Odi Bakchis got a good jump there, stuck with them, tried to keep the proximity tight, surges forward. Looks like he may have tapped the bumper there. He stays right in the pocket against Vaughn Gittin Jr., keeping the pressure on. Big angle by Vaughn to wrap things up as they blow through the finish line, and the judges once again have a very tough call to make.
Okay, do we have a winner? Who's going to the finals? Ryan says Vaughn. Andy and Brian say? Andy says Odi. Brian says? Odi Bakchis gets the win. Odi Bakchis gets the win. That means DeNofa gets 3rd place, and Vaughn Gittin Jr. is just outside of holding carbon fiber. Round of applause for Vaughn Gittin Jr., everybody. Ryan Lantain, going to you.
Yeah, I talked
2-1.
Yeah,
Odi Bakchis. And you said who?
I said Vaughn.
You said Vaughn. These
They
guys said Odi.
Yeah. So the reason they went with Odi is they felt he had a better proximity in the chase from start to finish, and in the lead they were very similar. So that's the reason that they went with Odi. Just felt he had a better proximity overall. Did a better job.
Man, a bit heartbreaking there for Vaughn Gittin Jr. But you know what? No, it's not. We talked about this. Getting to the Final Four in the conditions that he is, he's not holding carbon fiber. I know Vaughn, and you know what? Yeah, I digress. He's got to be pumped right now. His teammate, he's on the box. RTR's on the podium. Now it's just decided who's going to get the victory. Which one of the redheads? Is it going to be Odi or is it going to be Forsberg?
All right, we are good for going. Ready to send it. On 3, let's go send it as loud as possible. So our final battle here at Orlando Speed World. Forsberg and Odi. Bakchis and Forsberg. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, and let's send it! Orlando!
Well, Jared, thank you so much. Odi, sorry for interrupting that. My goodness, after 3 one-more-time battles, you seem to thrive in stress, maybe to the point of moving into duress. How did you conserve enough energy to battle against Chris Forsberg?
Well, honestly, I just try to stay calm every time I, roll into the pits, and it wasn't easy, honestly. And I knew Chris was going to be a really, really tough battle, and it's really unfortunate that he debuted. I did feel really good about my lead run, but it would have been awesome to battle Chris. But I'll take it. This is a really good jump in points, and my team just killed it. I had the confidence in the car, and that's what I needed.
Okay, Odi, congratulations, making it 2 in a row.
Thank you very much.
Jared?